Well, Snark Marks, everybody. We're in the middle of a conversation. I'm gonna cue you in. Dusty was talking about reaction videos where you watch people on the internet watch things and they react to it. Dusty, do you ever feel stupid when you watch those? Because I feel
No.
stupid when I watch those.
Well, like
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm watching somebody watch something.
yeah, I mean, I get caught in it because I think what you're looking for is the affirmation that something that you like is good,
Yeah.
right? From an outside perspective. This guy hears Rage Against the Machine for the first time, and I'm like, oh shit, I hope this guy's like, oh, these are geniuses, because that's what I think. And so,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, it's funny watching like a black guy because you're sitting there going, yeah, now they get to see what we can do, you know?
yeah. it's it's the same reaction every time. Oh, I didn't know that this was rapping.
Yeah.
It's and but the problem is,
And he's on your side.
yeah. What we were discussing is my distaste of like I think I want what they can't give me. I was having a recent conversation with my wife on a different topic about the same thing.
So she wants what you can't give her.
And that is untrue. Categorically. A bigger house that doesn't have a leak in one of the windows. But we'll talk about that later.
Oh, you got a leak problem.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. We'll have a whole leak conversation.
But I think I want something that they can't give me, which is like, I would like a critical analysis of this thing that I've spent a lot of time thinking about, or that I'm very familiar with. Or if you're gonna, there's a drum channel that I watch because I play drums, and this guy just watches videos of people playing drums, and he's like, people in the comments, tell me, you think this guy's pretty good or what? He has no analysis to give. And I'm like, you have a whole channel that's just like, you're not breaking anything down. You're not talking about anything.
Yeah, but I love
you're just
that
like,
you
oh yeah,
started
pretty sick.
I love that you started it with, there's this drum channel that I watch. Meaning you still watch this guy. And that's the thing. It's like,
well, it pops up in my in my shorts, and I keep watching it because I'm waiting.
You know what
for
else pops up in your shorts? You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for one time for this guy to be like, oh man, pretty sick triplet fill right there. Nothing. He has no critical analysis to provide whatsoever.
Well, Dusty,
but he calls himself a drummer. That's why. That's why it's upsetting.
I'm going to tell on us though, because we do reaction videos in a way, right? Because we just did The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, but generally, those who can't do react.
Sure.
Oh my God, he's climbing the bookshelf again. Hold on.
Yeah, he's upset because his whole YouTube presence is reaction channels.
He knows the Snark March just started. Hold on.
Yeah.
All I had to do is stand up and he jumped down. He's scared of me by now.
But look, not to toot our horn, because there are lots of channels that do this. I don't think that we just go, oh, Stone Cold and The Rock, man, what a cool segment they just had. Like,
let us know in the comments if you think that the beer truck was funny.
Yeah, like, oh, you think this is one of the greatest feuds of all time? Let us know in the comments.
Tell us why, because we don't know why.
Even if the analysis we have is layman analysis, we're at least trying to give a reason for something, and like, there are lots of YouTube channels that do that. The very idea of reaction channels, of course, is ridiculous in and of itself, but I get trapped watching them, because again, I'm looking for somebody to enlighten me in a way that I'm unaware of. Like, give me an avenue of this that I haven't considered before, which would be cool.
Yeah, plus it scratches the itch of like everybody, and I always talk about these people, and I resist really hard not being one of these people where everybody wants to show somebody something and have them enjoy it. You want to show somebody, turn somebody on to a new song. You got a really funny YouTube video you want somebody to see. And this is giving you those things releasing in your brain voluntarily. There's no, it's like, this is the worst example, but you know how when there was a very I don't know if you've ever heard about this. There's a very short conversation about maybe making child sex dolls for pedophiles.
I did not hear about this. No,
you know but the idea where it would like scratch the itch. At least they're doing it to an inanimate object. Yeah, like I said, it's the worst. It's the worst example of all time. But
couldn't think of any better example.
Listen, I think these watchers are the worst. Where they're like, well, listen, I've got like 2 people who send me Instagram reels all day, bro, and I want to tell them, hey, I've told one of them, hey, just so you know, I don't watch any of these ever. So anyway, but have you seen the one where it's like a family of brothers?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like one of the more famous reaction. So I watched them one time react to like the greatest Tiger Woods shots ever.
Yeah.
And it was funny because they don't know golf. So like a couple of the shots are really cool. Some of the shots go in the hole and they're like freaking out and stuff. And then as the shots get like really hard, amazing, one of the greatest shots in history, but it didn't go in the hole. Like Tiger's like 270 out with a 5-wood, and he takes a full swing and he hits it to 5 feet, and the crowd's going crazy and stuff. You could see them just be like, hey, like go to the next one because it didn't go in the hole. So like they got spoiled by
That's
they don't
a
realize
failure to them.
Yeah.
Why don't you just show me the ones that it's like? I enjoy watching football, but my favorite version of watching football is watching the red zone, because the red zone just shows me the coolest, most important parts of football.
The dope shit.
Yeah, I don't have to see all the all the 4 and out or the 3 and outs that happen.
Yeah.
At the 32-yard line. Just show me the coolest thing that happened today. And that's because I got stuff to do. You know? So
Tyreek Hill, word. So yeah. That's how it is. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just we were talking off air. I will occasionally go into a manic episode where I will listen to Bo Burnham's song Welcome to the Internet, but I want to watch reaction videos of people reacting to it. And again, it is because I am looking for some sort of like insight, or for someone to match the insight that I think that I have about it. But 90% of the time it's just like, yeah, this guy can really sing, and man, isn't the internet a weird place? That's crazy. And then that's it. There's nothing further to get, and there's a lot of meat on that bone, on that like 3.5 minute song that you could really get into, but no, because like you either don't want to, or you didn't think about it the same way that I did, or it just doesn't hit you the same way. Your whole analysis is, yeah, the internet does have lots of stuff on it. Great. I'm glad I watched this video.
Well, you know what, Dusty? This is almost poetic, because this is almost these people doing to you what you did to me with Bo Burnham, where I was like, no, Dusty will for sure understand this. And you understood it. I'm not saying you didn't understand it, but like pre-inside, we would talk about Bo Burnham. We've had this conversation on the podcast, and I'd be like, so like, you really don't like this, huh? Like, you're really
the greatest argument in the history of our friendship.
I'm like,
is related to Bo Burnham.
What's wrong with you? So
I just needed him to get a little more seasoning on him, and then now I'm into it.
He didn't meet your standards before.
No, we were in different places, and now it feels like we're in the same place. And I'm like, oh, now I can hear what you're saying.
Has Dusty become more Bo, or has Bo become more Dusty? Who could say?
Yeah, it's whenever you mix the oil and water, is the water becoming oily, or is the oil becoming watery? Who knows?
Who could ever tell?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to get to this, Dusty. I texted you earlier.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said, hold on. I don't want to paraphrase you.
I need it verbatim.
So Andrew and I talk quite often, but we don't talk maybe as much as people might think. We hadn't messaged each other since Tuesday, and today I just got at 2:42. Boy, do I have a story for the show.
Yeah.
So I wrote back, oh man, I love an Andrew story, because there's going to be an axe to grind in here somewhere, I'm sure.
Call me Larry the Cucumber, Dusty, because have I got a tale for you?
That's
So yesterday, in the early evening. I had a couple errands to run. I go run those errands. Go to Vaughn's, hit the bank, all that stuff. I get home, and I had just ended things with a girl I've been talking to for a little bit. Not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a big thing. Ended things. Never feels good, you know?
Yeah.
Walking through my apartment, walking in the hallway, in socks, I step on something wet.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
there. By the way, there's no good answer. Whatever
it can't
is,
be anything good.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to lie to myself. I'm like, I've got towels right here. Maybe one of the towels is wet. It wasn't one of the towels. So I'm like, where's the cat? Because I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill my cat. So I go and I get, I can't remember if I started. You always got to check. You got to see what it is, right? So I got some toilet paper or paper towel. Can't remember. Blot it. We got yellow. We got some pee on the floor.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want pee on the floor.
Sure.
Especially on carpet.
It's not one of your things.
Yeah. So I was like angry. I was really mad because this is a place in my apartment where Hobbs has peed before. It's been like 5 months. He peed like the first month I was here. I changed the pee pad in his litter box, and the one that I bought accidentally was scented, and he didn't like the scent, so he pissed on my floor.
Right, a measured response,
as people do. Yeah, he's just trying to communicate. So I start blotting, and I'm like, man, there's pee here, and I'm like, oh man, there's also pee here, and then I kind of turn to the side, and I step, and I slowly start to realize that about a 3 foot by 3 foot square in the corner of my hallway is soaking wet. So I was like, how fucking long has this cat been peeing in my hallway? And how did I not notice that this cat's peeing in my hallway? So I'm just like, slowly realizing how much liquid is in my carpet. And I'm like looking at my cat who's sitting there looking all cute. And I'm like, I literally said, what the fuck, dude? Like, what is wrong with you? So I started to get myself mentally prepared. Already not in a good mood. I was going to relax, kick my feet up. I canceled plans that night because of a certain situation. Yeah. I was freed up, Dusty. I was freed up. I was going to play some video games, maybe watch some Survivor in my underwear. You know, it was going to be a great night. So but I realized this is going to be a lot of work. What's going on here? Because you don't leave it there, Dusty.
No.
You don't even kind of leave it there.
Only a psychopath would leave. Like, undiscovered, there's nothing you could do about it. But once you know, like, that's one of the more frustrating parts is, like, once you know, you can't unknow. And then you have to, do something about it.
Yeah, because I'm not a heathen. I have to get rid of this stuff in my carpet. I've lived in carpets I've lived in houses with problem animals before, and I can't go. I'm not going back there, Dusty.
No. They'll never take you back.
I'm literally thinking, what am I going to do? I have to get rid of this cat. I can't have a cat anymore. I can't have an animal that pees on my carpet, you know? So I'm dealing with that. I go back to Vaughn's. I buy latex gloves. I buy big old thing of toilet paper, and I buy some of this spray stuff that's supposed to break up the enzymes from animals, right?
Yeah.
So I come home, and I just get to work. 5 full rolls of paper towels later. My carpet's a little less wet.
Sure.
Still fucking super soaked. So now I'm going, did a pipe burst in my apartment, or do we have a leak? What is wrong with this cat? You know? So he's
there's
a big
just
cat.
not enough. There's not enough pee inside of Hobbs to have made this problem.
I don't think I could have done what he did. So I'm texting Kai, and Kai's like, you gotta
pull that carpet up.
She said you have to get this orange stuff that you spray everywhere. It makes him not want to pee there. The first thing she said was, why? I said, Hobbs peed all over the place. And she goes, why? I was like, I don't know. I didn't ask her. I didn't ask him. She, you know, if you extrapolate, I was in a moment of frustration.
Sure.
There's reasons cats do these things. The cats don't just decide to pee on the carpet at one point. So she was wondering if I knew why Hobbs peed on the carpet. But it was a funny question to read the first time. So she gives me, says I got to get this orange stuff, and I don't have any orange stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up the orange stuff. She's like, okay. It was after she had some at her house. So I go and I pick up the orange stuff, and I'm like, after I pick up the orange stuff, I'm on my way home, and I'm like, you know what? I want a fucking Big Mac. So I was like, screw this, I'm getting a Big Mac. I've been trying not to spend as much money. I'm getting a Big Mac. I got a Big Mac, I got a large fry, and I got a 6-piece chicken McNuggets. Treating myself.
Yeah.
Eating like a king.
Look, you're in a moment of crisis.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. I'm gonna eat my sorrows away for the first time in my life, you know? So Kai tipped me off that Vaughn's rents vacuum like carpet cleaners.
Yeah.
Vaughn's is like 500 yards from my house. So I on my way home, I get the Big Mac, I go to Vaughn's, I rent a carpet cleaner.
This is for the listener, the third Vaughn's trip already. No, right? Because there's original Vaughn's trip.
God damn it, that is the third Vaughn's trip.
Second Vaughn's trip. Now we're going for a third.
Second Vaughn's trip was about $61.
Okay.
Third Vaughn's trip, $62. The only reason that I remember that is because I had exactly $60 of cash in my pocket.
Yep.
So I was like, this is going to be enough. $1 short, $2 short. So I get there, I rent the thing, I get some pet solution, right? My pet solution at that point was a shotgun, but I didn't do it.
Well, I see Hobbs in the background, so
he's alive and well. So come home, I clean my carpets. We're about 4 hours in, Dusty.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's getting late.
It's getting late. So I'm like, time to wind down. So I lay down. Well, I came home, I ate my McDonald's. I was like, I'm going to have 15 minutes of sad quiet, you know. Sat there and watched YouTube videos or something and ate my McDonald's, and I cleaned the carpets, and then I get ready for bed. It's like 12:30. And I'm walking to the bathroom to like brush my teeth or something before I go to bed. Step on something wet.
Yeah.
Where once there was no wet.
From whence there was no wet before.
This son of a bitch, while I was watching whatever before I went to bed, went and peed right next to the big, wet, new, clean spot on my carpet.
Yeah. Well, you broke up his former pee spot.
Yeah.
Had to find a new one.
Now I pissed him off. You know what I mean? So I soak up as much of it as I can with paper towels. I spray the shit out of it with stuff. I'm not going to go over it with the carpet cleaner again.
Carpet in the bathroom too?
No.
Okay.
No. This is just like on the way to the bathroom.
Yeah. On the way.
Yeah, carpet
shit.
in the bathroom is the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life.
I thought it was in the bathroom. So like, at least it's on tile in that situation.
Oh no.
Of course.
It's why would he do tile? It's easy to clean. So 5 rolls of toilet paper. This is a heavy bag of trash, a trash bag.
That also smells
and
like
I'm
cat pee.
How? Oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention is about halfway through, I realize that what I'm picking up from my floor is like clear and odorless, and I'm like, okay, Google cat clear odorless pee on my carpet, and they're like kidney disease. Sick. Awesome. He's going to die of natural causes. I don't have to kill my cat.
Yeah.
But they're probably going to tell me, hey, your cat's kidneys are bad. Here's a pill that costs $50 a week, and you give it to him the rest of his life, right? So I'm like, awesome. Kidney disease. So then I wake up in the morning. Kai has a friend who works at a vet, so I text her and I say, hey, can you set me up at the vet? Because I looked for vet appointments, and they're like, yeah, how about May? And I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, sick.
I can't have him just peeing everywhere till May.
I will give this cat away. So as much as I tolerate him, I was going to say love, but it's been a rough couple days. So she's like, I can get you in at 2:15. Cool. So I go to work. I leave work. I come back, pick up the cat. He's pretty much an angel on the way to the vet. He's usually an asshole in the car. He wasn't an asshole. I get there. I'm sitting in the lobby. And I'm like, my main pitch to this doctor is going to be the sheer volume
sure.
of stuff that
Yeah.
Something is wrong with this cat.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm sitting there, and I get my phone rings. And I look down, and it says the name of my apartment complex on the thing, and I'm like, "What the fuck? What now? Right?
Yeah, they heard
about the cat. My place on fire.
Pee. Yeah.
Did they hear about the cat pee? Am I in trouble now?
Yeah.
So I answer the phone, and they go, "Hi, I was just wondering if you were at your apartment." I said, "No, I'm not home right now." And she's like, "Well, maintenance wants to get into your apartment because they want to investigate a water leak." And I said, "Oh my God." They said, "Yeah, there's a water leak somewhere in the apartment. We want to see if it's your unit." And I said, "Well, there's a giant wet spot in my hallway. I thought it was my cat. I'm currently at the vet with my cat because I thought he was dying."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, we'll just," they didn't care. "We'll just, is it okay if we let the guy in?" I'm like, "Yeah, tell him to go in. Tell him there's a giant wet spot in the hallway.
Yeah.
I thought it was my cat, and I'm spending a lot of money on this, and I'm pretty sure there's a leak somewhere." So I'm like sitting in the thing, and I'm like looking at the cat, and the cat's looking at me through the thing. He was framed.
Yeah. Well, we believe at least partially, right? Because
so sitting there, and I'm like, all right, he's probably not dying. Bittersweet, obviously. So I'm like, do I even go through with this anymore? And I'm like, well, he did pee multiple times for sure.
Yeah.
He peed in my hallway, and cats aren't supposed to pee in hallways. There's usually something wrong. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm still gonna go in, get some advice, all that stuff. And so I go through with it. I go in, and she goes, "Oh, you're so pretty," to Hobbs. And I'm like, "Yeah, he's handsome. Don't get under his spell." And she's like, "And you're young. Why are you having such old man problems?" And I said, "Well, I've got a funny story for you." And I told her the story. I didn't tell her about the Big Mac.
Right.
But
you want to leave off unnecessary elements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's like, "Yeah, what probably happened is there's a leak in your apartment, and it got water everywhere on the thing, and your cat stumbled upon it and was like, well, I guess we're peeing here."
It's already wet.
Yeah, so
couldn't get more wet, could it?
Yeah, because it is wet and smelly, because wet carpet is smelly.
Yeah.
My cat thought, this is for sure where I pee now. So I had like a little 2-part issue going on.
Yeah, so did they find the leak?
So I get back from the vet. Nobody's in my apartment. Cool.
Mm-hmm. What if he was just playing Sea of Thieves on your Xbox?
I know. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. We're waiting for cock to dry.
Did you just cook my Trader Joe's cacio e pepe? Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
No.
Gnocchi.
We found a leftover Trader Joe's or a leftover Papa John pizza in the fridge. Just figured we'd clear that out for you.
Yeah, I found all the free coupons you've got. It's fine. So I go to the clubhouse because right now I go to the office and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And they're like, oh yeah, there's a pipe that burst under one of your neighbor's apartments, and so they're just gonna fix that. And I'm like, well, the water in my. She's like, yeah, I told them that there's water in your apartment. So while I was gone, where did I go? Oh, so I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna go to In-N-Out.
Back
so I
to
went
Vons.
to In-N-Out. Yeah,
Just you're looking for
missed
some.
Yeah, I still have I have to take the carpet cleaner back today, and I'm not gonna tell them what happened. I'm just telling all the people that listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
So while I'm at In-N-Out, apparently, homeboy got into my house, my apartment, and cleaned the carpets for me.
Oh, that's
in the hallway.
Benefit. Yeah.
He got all the water out of the hallway. So cool. And then he leaves, and I get on a work phone call at like 5, and I'm walking around. And I walk where I'm sitting right now, soaking wet, Dusty.
Yep.
So not somehow, this water is on both sides of that wall. I'm sloshing around in it, wearing shoes on a podcast.
Yeah. You're actually in a dinghy right now. People on YouTube can attest.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be funny if I had a helmet and an oar and a life vest on.
Yeah. Anyway, YouTube's weird.
Yeah, so I ran my carpet cleaner over this carpet before I got on the podcast, and I pulled maybe half a gallon of water out of my carpet.
Jesus.
And it's still soaking wet. And I called them before, and they were like, yeah, we'll be over tomorrow.
Nothing we're doing today.
Yeah, definitely not doing it today. They said if it gets worse, call the after hours emergency thing, and they'll take care of me. But
what's worse? What's the definition of worse?
If it gets more wet than it currently is right now at this moment,
right?
So yeah, I almost killed my cat.
I'm glad Hobbs is okay. On the upside, you did clean your carpets, so that's got to be a nice plus.
Yeah. Cost me $120 fucking dollars.
Yeah,
$123.
Unexpected. You might be able to get recouped from your.
I asked. They fucking were like,
bah.
They like didn't. She didn't even like really react.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Did you report it?" And I was like, "No. I thought my cat did it." And she's like, "What did she say?" She repeated something that like had no it didn't make contextual sense for her to repeat what she had just said. But I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting nowhere with this.
Yeah. Well, sometimes lizards are dogs,
Yeah, anyway. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I thought Welcome to the Internet was really good. What are you?
Have you been listening
to my future conversation?
So the other night, it's been raining quite a bit in Fresno. I don't know if it's been raining in Bakersfield, but
good amount. Yeah, good amount. Not too.
And I love the rain. Oh man, if it could just, be overcast and rainy, that would be great. But that's not what's going to happen. But we live in an old house. This house is like 100 years old. And we're getting ready to go to bed. I'm getting all situated, and my wife is like, hey, can you come here for a second? And I'm like, oh, never good. It's like 10:30 at night. She's like, there's water coming through the window.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, okay, cool. Like, what do we, like, so then it's every possibility is on the board. Is the roof leaking? Is the roof leaking into the wall and then through the wall, through the window? Because that's kind of the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Is this some sort of X-Men-esque creature that goes liquid form and is currently breaking into my house to kill my wife and her children?
Just one drop at a time.
Yeah.
It's coming in. And so I'm like, okay, well, it's not really anything we can do right now because it's like 11 o'clock at night and it's raining outside. So like set up like a Beverly Hillbillies episode, set up like a big pan to catch the water coming in through the windowsill, put a towel down on the floor, they're like, okay, well, tomorrow we'll take a look. We don't have a ladder that is tall enough to be able to look on the roof to see if there's something going on up there. So now
I was gonna say, as a homeowner, you need a ladder that tall, but I'm knowing you, Dusty. I don't want you to get on that ladder.
Well, now I have to buy this ladder. So
you have a penchant for falling. Get one of her children to climb that ladder for you.
Yeah. Well, I bought what I thought looked like the closest to a WWF ladder.
Hell yeah, dude.
That feels like you could have a ladder match with it. That feels safe to me. I'm familiar with this type of ladder.
I could bust the Demon Finn Balor's forehead open with this real easy.
Yeah. So, but I'm at work and my wife has the day off. So actually, my wife has to climb the ladder.
Hell yeah, dude.
But I like
this ladder costs the pantsuit in this family.
Yeah, like this ladder costs $100, unaccounted for. This $100 that I now have to spend on this ladder.
Hey,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, so, God damn it. So, but we can't just let the water leak into the house either. So, it turns out there's like a crack in one of the shingles. But it's that shingle is on the overhang of the house, so we don't think it's the actual roof. So we just used some caulk and caulked the window.
You didn't want to say caulk, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't want to say caulk?
No. Caulked up that window.
Cocked up that window, dude.
And rain today, no sign of rain on the inside of the house. But while my wife was looking at it,
I've got the driest caulk in the Central Valley.
Yep, that's why I didn't want to do it. But there's no other. I used masonry putty is not a thing that you could say, right?
No.
So
no, you gotta say caulk.
But while my wife was there's Hobbs behind you just came out of the hallway where he was pissing.
I know, dude. I'm nervous every time he goes in there. And he's like, it wasn't me, fuckface. I know I'm not supposed to pee there anymore.
But while my wife was outside investigating, our neighbor came out and she was like, what's going on? And my wife told her and she goes, oh yeah, there used to be skylights in that back room and they replaced them, but I don't think they replaced them very well. Cool. Cool to know.
How's your neighbor know that?
I don't know.
Like that they didn't replace them well.
Well, I suppose she is guessing based on the other type of work that they were known to do around the place.
She's like, your house sucks ass.
Yeah, that's so like, great. So maybe at some point in the future, the whole thing's going to collapse. Who knows?
She's like, we all buy a lemon every once in a while. You just kick the dirt off your shoulders. Buy another one.
Just get another house. It's fine.
Buy another one, you rich motherfucker.
Yeah, it's super, super easy, uncomplicated to buy a house. I sent you a text message the other day.
Yeah, you did. You want me to read it?
Yeah, I would like you to read my text message.
Okay. Oh, dude, I just sat on my ball. Oh, wait, the other one.
that was weeks ago.
Hold on. I just saw someone in line at the bank that may have had. Oh, wait. I saw someone in line at the bank that may have the worst tattoos I've seen in this great nation.
I had to go to the bank. Not the bank that I work for.
You might have seen it in other nations, but not in this one.
I had to go to a different bank to do a payoff. Can't do a payoff over the phone. They don't want your money that way.
Bookies don't want a paper trail.
Yeah, so like I can't pay I pay my monthly payment of this over the phone. No, you got to come in. Great. What time's this place open? Oh, same place, same hours as the place I work. Cool. To make it super convenient for me.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
I'm so glad. So I go in, and there's a long line. And I'm like, all right. So I get in the line. And the guy in front of me is wearing what is clearly like an old T-shirt for a radio event that happened.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, and on the back it says Triple B Records, the best records around, and it has like the names of all of these bands on it. And one of them's called No Pressure, but the No Pressure looks like a bunch of overinflated balloons,
Hell yeah,
so I'm like,
dude. Hell yeah, dude.
This guy either worked for this radio station or he was in one of these bands, whatever. And I start looking around and he's in front of me, so I'm noticing his tattoos, and I get like, I don't know. I guess maybe everybody's tattoos are silly to someone, but this guy had a barbed wire heart that went all the way around his elbow, like outlined his elbow.
Hell yeah, dude.
So his elbow didn't have anything.
So it deforms when he's holding it different.
Yeah, so like, and like his elbow's clean. The actual elbow's clean. It's just all around, but it's the entire heart is made of barbed wire. And I'm like, well, that's kind of silly. So I'm looking, and then he has a Black Widow spider on the inside of his forearm, but like a big ass one, like
a huge Black Widow,
like a huge Black Widow with no context. So maybe that's the band logo that I don't know, you know.
Okay.
And then he had a mace, like an old timey weapon, tattooed all on the same arm, on like the front of his forearm. That was huge, and like colored kind of like like a Metallica shirts. They always have those weird greens and yellows and stuff, you know, and that sort of flavor to it. And I was like, what was this guy thinking when he was putting these tattoos together? Like, they don't match, they don't go together. There's no motif to speak of. Like, I just want one time I want a Black Widow spider. That'd be fucking sick. So another time, just give me a mace. Do you want the mace to be held by anybody? Nope, just a mace. Do you want it to be hitting anything? Nope, just suspended in air.
It sounds like he just got like flash tattoos.
Yeah, they're just like for like like give me something that looks like it could be on the cover of an Iron Maiden album. But that barbed wire tattoo must have taken a long time, because it's a good looking tattoo insofar as you could tell clearly what it is. There's a lot of good line work on the barbed wire part. It's just in the shape of a heart, which immediately makes it silly to me. Like, and he seemed like the kind of guy who would be this guy. Had like
the heart of barb.
Yeah, had like a septum piercing. Looked like he was probably in a band at some point, or possibly still in a band.
That's not surprising with what I'm seeing on Triple B Records website. I found your friends at No Pressure.
Okay.
No Pressure. That's No Pressure right there. And then we see the balloon stuff that you're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
It looks like Triple B Records is literally vinyls. Like, they sell vinyls, because they've also got Newfound Glory right here.
I saw that, which is interesting to me.
Look at this picture. I don't like these punk rock, the singer's a psychopath pictures.
Yeah. Well, this looks like hardcore bands to me.
Yeah. It looks more like hardcore bands, for sure.
Restraining Order was also on the shirt.
The Fight.
Right. Terror.
Yeah, look at this one. Look at this one. Hold on. Conservative Military Image.
The Clear. That's a bad band name. That shouldn't be your band name.
That's a Scientology band name.
Yeah. The Candy, also bad band name.
Division of Mind.
That's a better band name. At least
sucks.
it's
shitty. I like Candy better. Physical, spelled Fyzical.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. Oh, dude, look at his tattoo.
Oh wait,
That's not your guy, is it?
I don't know. Does
Holy
he have a
shit.
barbed wire heart tattoo?
Holy shit. Let me see if he's got a barbed wire elbow tattoo.
We've got.
Nah, I don't think it's your guy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's your guy. That would have been so sick.
Initiate, bad band name.
Life's Question. Dude, I hate these bands, bro.
Oh, Madball. I've heard of them.
I thought hardcore was cool.
Yeah. What about Mind War?
Mind War, Mutually Assured Destruction.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they all sound stupid if you say them with the voice that we're doing.
Bro.
But yeah. And they're, at least, what is that? Result of choice? What does that mean? That's a bad band name.
I don't know, man. This is Tsunami spelled Sunami.
Yeah.
Stop spelling things incorrectly. It's not cool.
They just don't want to be mixed up with Tsunami Bomb.
Oh my god.
Or
Trail of Lies.
3 Knee Deep. That's not a good band name.
These guys suck, bro.
Dude.
Wolf Whistle. That's a dope name.
Yeah,
I like Wolf Whistle. Look at those guys. Those guys look like they can party too.
Those dudes both look like Kyle Kinane.
They had different versions of Kyle Kinane. That is true.
I don't understand like Wise as a band name because it's going to be really hard to Google Wise if you're interested, you know? Like,
well, a lot of these have that problem.
Right, that's why they're bad band names.
Antagonize.
Big Cheese, hell, good band name.
Big Cheese, that is a good band name.
Yeah, I like that name. Like there was a hardcore band that I saw here in Fresno years and years ago called Most Precious Blood. That's a good band name because if you type in Most Precious Blood, you're going to get most likely the band Most Precious Blood, I would imagine. At least if is evocative, you know, if the name of your band's just Fury, that doesn't do anything for me. Doesn't show me anything.
There was a I just googled Simpsons hardcore. That's not good. There's a hardcore band that's really popular right now that has a kind of niche Simpsons name.
Is it Evergreen
I can't remember
Terrace?
What it is. No, it's not Evergreen Terrace. It's not like they're not that famous. You know what I mean? Okay. But I if I find it again, I'll talk about it on the podcast. One day I forgot what they were, and I tried to Google it, and it took me a long time to find them, so I'm not going to do that on the podcast. C4.
The B Sharps, you know?
The B Sharps is good, man.
Yeah. Or what was the joke in the Simpsons episode? We want a name that sounds clever at first, but then each additional time you hear it, less clever. And that's why
something like that.
That's why they settle on the B Sharps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Beatles.
Right. And the shitty, who's on right now? The shitty Beatles. Are they any good?
They suck.
Yeah. So it's not just an ironic nickname. Yeah. I don't, a band name is like one of the truly most important things that can happen to your band. Like I was in a band called Keep the Ghost Light On, which is a bad band name. But I joined that band. And so I couldn't tell them like that name is too long. It's
better than what was it? Conservative Military Image.
Sure, but for the types of people that listen to Triple G records, Conservative Military Image is probably a cool band name to them.
Fucking just hardcore kids, bro. They're scene kids who never grew up.
Yeah. That's
and one of my closest friends is in a hardcore band, and he's dope. He's one of the coolest people I know. But he would say Conservative Military Image. I think he would say is a stupid band name. Maybe I should message him.
Yeah. Okay. I just found an article that is 15 Simpsons band names.
Yeah, I think I've read that article before, and I don't think it's on there. But
okay.
Because there's Fallout Boy, there's Evergreen Terrace. I think there's one called Superintendent Chalmers.
Oh yeah, Super Nintendo Chalmers would be a good band name.
Yeah.
We've got Hot Rod Circuit, which apparently is from the Who Shot Mr. Burns episode, where Mr. Burns says the year is 1965, and you and I are undercover detectives on the Hot Rod Circuit. Which I have no context for, but I think is pretty funny. Floor Pie is the name of a band.
Floor Pie?
Yep. Fallout Boy, obviously. Mr. Plow, that's a pretty good name, I think.
That's sick. Yeah, I'll take Mr. Plow.
Itch E and Scratch E.
I don't like it.
No.
Because they spelled it differently.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be clever because you spell something differently. It's not even a pun.
I voted for Kodos. Good band name.
That is a good band name, and that I don't think that's the one I'm thinking of, but it might be the one I'm thinking of.
Somebody's band name is Mr. Sparkle. Then there's Evergreen.
That's fine.
Evergreen Terrace. Stupid Flanders. A lot of these are ska bands. In case you couldn't pick it up,
it's just the way you said that. A lot of these are ska bands. In case you couldn't pick it up.
Look,
it's Stupid Flanders and not Stupid Sexy Flanders.
No, just Stupid Flanders.
All right, I'm fine with that.
Mad Marge and the Stonecutters. That's a good band name.
All right, I'll take that one.
I'll take that one.
That is so much a ska band.
Yeah. Malibu Stacy. That's a cool one.
All right. Yeah.
And the Christ Punchers, which I don't think are a ska band, but they're a metal band from Detroit. But the ska bands have notoriously silly names, so you can get away with it if the Aquabats or Real Big Fish, Five Iron Frenzy. Those are silly names. If you're
spell it properly.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I feel like you get too corny when you start spelling things differently. It's just a thing with me. It's not a universal thing, Yeah.
But
ska bands you can have the goofy name. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who was it? The W's.
Yeah.
You are the devil and the devil is bad. Hey, you are the devil and the devil is bad.
I had the less popular W's album. I bought the second W's album that did not have Devil is Bad on it, but
nobody cared anymore.
No, but I loved that album. Give me King of Polyester. That song rules. So,
what was the band? Did you ever hear? There's a song called Riot Radio
by a Christian band.
What was it called? Was it Riot? Rio Radio? No, they weren't a Christian band, but they were around that time. No, it's not 3 Days Grace. Google.
How do you know?
Because I liked it.
Oh, okay. You might sneaky like 3 Days Grace. Who knows?
The Dead 60s. Did you ever hear the Dead 60s?
I've heard of it. I've never heard them. I don't think.
They were kind of like aesthetically, like when you saw them, they were kind of like a Stray Cats, like almost greaser dudes.
Yeah.
At least in that video they were. They had this song called Riot. I think it was called Riot on the radio. Or no, it's called Riot Radio. That I fucking loved when I was younger. And I got that album and I only listened to that song basically.
That was a weird time where for a little while there was like a not big band, but sort of a swing like revival situation in the late 90s. The Brian Setzer.
Lou Bega's?
Yeah, Lou Bega, the Brian Setzer Orchestra, the Cherry Poppin' Daddies, the worst band name.
The Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
They did.
It's pretty bad.
Zoot Suit Riot, but that's on rules. It just that name stinks.
Oh, so. Zoot Suit Riot was made by the Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Yep,
we let that happen.
Look, the end of the 90s. We talked about it last week. It's a lawless time.
That is true.
That's Clinton's America.
At least we got Grapefruit Diet out of it.
That's true. And like Sell Out, Real Big Fish, that was like popular for like a minute.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I really enjoy the music of Real Big Fish, the whole catalog. But yeah, that's a good song.
I like ska. Ska's fun.
It's pretty fun,
It's like enjoy yourself, dress goofy, and probably be white. You say
not entirely. Some of the horn section,
sometimes, yeah. You need a good trumpet player.
Yeah. Bone Storm would be an awesome Simpsons band name.
Bone Storm would be an awesome Simpsons name. Buy me Bone Storm or go to hell.
I liked. There's
so funny.
There's a whole Reddit. There's a whole Reddit of Simpsons band names. Moe's Family Feedbag.
Family Feedbag would be a good one.
Whenever he's got the hot fries on his head, and he's like, "Please, darling, take the fries off my head. They're very hot."
Yeah, the fries are extremely hot. Then, what does he say? He says "freaking," and then I can't remember what he says. And the girl's like, "Oh my freaking cheers when she's leaving.
Yeah, what's your friggin' problem or something like that.
Yeah. Please take this basket off my head, sweetheart. The fries are extremely hot.
Yeah. Nuke the whales is a good. That would be.
That is a good one.
I
forgot that even comes from The Simpsons.
Yeah, because that's from the episode where Lisa has
the slurry?
No, Lisa has a crush on Nelson, so she goes to Nelson's house, and he has a Nuke the Whales poster on his wall, and she goes, "You don't believe that, do you?" And he goes, "Gotta nuke something." That's very good. I had this idea. I didn't run it by you, but I think that
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna cover my microphone. I need you to run stuff by me. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna not cover my microphone. But okay. I need you to get real close real close to your screen.
I pushed my headphones closer.
I will never run anything by you.
Duly noted. Duly noted. You're like, if you tell me to do it again, I'm gonna come pee on your carpet.
Yeah, you thought it was Hobbs the whole time. I've been MK Ultraing Hobbs.
Dude, I swear to God, I was losing my mind last night. I was like, do I get a camera and set it up so I could catch my fucking cat peeing so I know it's him?
Dude, I thought of I know that I'm becoming a middle-aged homeowner person because there's just random trash will show up in my front yard and it infuriates me.
Oh, yeah, that happens in front of my apartment too.
And I'm like, is this teens? Are there fucking teens that just eat Cheetos and then just decide to toss it on my lawn like it's a goddamn thing to do?
If they are teens, I hope they're 18 and one day old.
Yeah. Is this wayward youth? Is this how they're getting back?
What's the youngest I can legally beat the shit out of? By the way, this is a pretty sick poster. I feel like I just pulled up Nuke the Whales.
Yeah, that's the poster.
Yeah, it's a good poster.
Yeah, so I've thought about buying a Ring camera so I can check to see who's discarding trash all over my yard, and then immediately beat the crap out of the person.
It's so funny that we live like bizarro world versions of each other's universes. Yeah. We both had leaks.
Yeah.
Both constantly having cat problems. We both want to buy surveillance cameras for various reasons.
Yeah, to catch what I assume is a personal attack on me.
Yeah,
they're throwing trash onto my lawn specifically.
Yeah, I think my cat is like peeing on my floor, facing wherever I am in the world, my direction.
Yeah, he knows like Mecca. He knows where to face to find you.
Yeah, it's like I want him to know this is for you.
Yeah, and he pees on the carpet 5 times a day. So
yeah.
No, I thought of this the other day, and I just wanted to spring it on you. We had to unfortunately retire the Music Bangers Hall of Fame because we can't play music on this goddamn podcast.
They don't like us playing their copyrighted music and stealing their art and intellectual property.
But what they can't do is take away me describing something. So I submit that we start the comedy Hall of Fame. So I'm talking a scene from a movie, a comedy bit, something, whatever you want. We got to nominate it, then we discuss it. We decide if it goes in.
Okay.
My inaugural the ballot that I'm putting up is the performance of Big Bottom by Spinal Tap in the movie This Is Spinal Tap.
Okay. You know what's funny?
What's that?
Like 2 days ago, I looked up a live Big Bottom video.
Parallel lives, dude.
Yeah, because it's perfect. Because Spinal Tap, as some people know, fictional band from a movie that was from like 79, I think is when they made that movie or something like that.
It's like 79 or 80.
Yeah. And but they have played shows, and they played some big shows. They played like big ass festivals with like 100,000 people there, and they play all their songs,
real songs.
Stonehenge,
yeah.
They take it very seriously.
Sex Farm, Hellhole,
and they in the one that I watched, they ended with Big Bottoms, and I fast forwarded trying to find Big Bottoms the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've got the opening lines for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of it scratches all the comedy itches that I have in my life, which is they start playing the song and it's focused in on the butt of Nigel Tufnell, played by Christopher Guest. He turns around, he's playing a bass.
He's going back and forth with the butt.
Yeah.
Doesn't Derek Smalls play the bass? I thought Derek Smalls played the bass.
Well, that's the thing.
They all play bass for this song. I forgot about that.
Nigel Tufnell, who normally plays guitar, is playing bass. They cut over to the lead singer, David St. Hubbins. He's playing a bass. They cut to the keyboard guy. He's playing two different keyboards that are making bass noises. Then they cut to Derek Smalls. He's playing a double neck bass. Twice as many basses.
That's so funny. I forgot they did that. I forgot everybody was playing bass.
That reveal of him playing two basses is truly like exceptional. That is the exact type of comedy that I'm interested in. And then they start singing the song. The bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing. That's what I said. The bigger the waistband, the deeper the quicksand, or so I have read.
Or so I have read.
It's so funny.
You got the next line is hold on, I'm looking it up right now. My baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I'd like to sink her with my pink torpedo. Big bottom.
Yeah.
Big bottom.
And the drummer is playing, I don't know that anybody cares. He's only playing the toms. There's no there's no snare. It's just the deep, heavy tom drums.
And isn't the bass riff just like down
yeah. It is so funny.
That's great. And that's a good one.
I think that's the rule. The rules should apply the same. If you haven't seen this Spinal Tap, do yourself a favor. It's incredible as satire, and the music is not bad. It's actually good. The songs, it's incredible. But we cannot then nominate other scenes from Spinal Tap. If we decide Big Bottom goes in, then we have to leave out the other scenes.
Them getting lost trying to find the stage.
These ones go to 11.
Yeah.
I
think this one's better than this one goes to 11 though.
Yeah,
you can go have a bite though is really fucking funny.
Well, and the Stonehenge, we had a Stonehenge in danger of being trodden upon by dwarfs. It's also very funny. And
then they've got herpes all over their face during the press junket. He's got a big cucumber in his underwear.
We've
got armadillos in our trousers.
when they reveal the cover of their album and it's just black, and he's like, it's like a question: how much more black could it get? And the answer is none more black. The movie is wall to wall great scenes, but I think
it is so good.
The reveal of the double bass is really one of the funniest things, and that joke gets me every single time. Plus, the lyrics to Big Bottom are hilarious. It's really, really good.
They are, and it's a good song. Impossibly, it's a good song.
Yeah, just bass.
Okay,
all bass.
All right. I'm ready. I've got some. I've been participating in the conversation. Wild. I had one, but you told me it burns the whole movie, which is fair because we did that for the music thing. I had I got to think hard about what my Dumb and Dumber joke's going to be.
Yeah.
But before that, maybe next week I'll do a Dumb and Dumber joke. I've got an idea as to which one it's going to be. But the joke in UHF that I sent you a few days ago or a couple weeks ago where the boss is screaming at a guy for, I can't remember what he's doing, yelling at him about. and he's screaming at the guy, and he goes, "Now take that ridiculous thing off." And it cuts to a guy who's got a really stupid hat on and a mustache, and he goes, "Now take that ridiculous thing off." And the guy looks really sad, and he's like, looks down, and he fucking takes his mustache off. It's a fake mustache. You think it's gonna be a hat the whole time. Because he's wearing a really stupid hat.
I think that's perhaps the point of this segment will be to uncover what we think is funny. But the thing that works in both of these scenes is that it's there's a misdirect happening the entire time. And they subvert your expectation. And the joke takes a couple of times, because if you don't notice in the Spinal Tap joke that they're all playing bass guitars the first time through, the next time you watch it, if you notice it, it makes it even more funny that everybody in the band is playing bass. And the same thing with this. Every time that you watch UHF, I forget that the mustache is fake, because I'm expecting it to be the hat, and it's so funny that this guy's the entire outfit, and then he's like, "But you know what I need? I also need the fake mustache. No one's gonna call me on it." And
he looks so heartbroken when the boss tells him to take it off, and he looks down and he takes his mustache off, and I can watch that. It's perfect. It's perfect comedy. So also in UHF, there's a lot of contenders from UHF, but they have the Chinese martial arts gym next door. And there's I can't even remember what's happening in the movie. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but the bad guy walks up to a supply closet, and it says supplies on the outside, and they open it, and all the Chinese guys are there. They go, "Supplies!" and punch him in the face.
Yeah. My favorite scene is where they keep trying to throw the dogs out the window because the guy thinks they can fly. And it's I think that's Michael Richards, and it's only it's only got to work one time, but they do.
No, it's I don't think it's Michael, because Michael Richards played Stanley Spadowski, and I don't think Stanley does that. I think it's the Latino man who has he has an animal show,
right? And he's like, "Come on, Fluffy, here we go!" And the dog leaps out the window, just every single time.
And the my other favorite joke is there's a blind guy sitting on a bench, and he's got a Rubik's Cube, and it's just a passing, they're just moving the camera to another shot basically, and they pan across a blind guy sitting on a bench with a Rubik's Cube. He's got a homeless guy sitting next to him, and he just keeps messing with the Rubik's Cube, and then holding it up to the homeless guy and going, "Is this it?" And the homeless guy goes, "Nope." And he just keeps doing it again. He goes, "Is this it?" And he just keeps trying.
Yeah.
God, it's a stupid movie, but I would like to nominate "Take That Ridiculous Thing Off."
I agree. I think we're in agreement here. And do you agree that we retire Spinal Tap, but we hang Big Bottom in the rafter?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's the perfect joke because it epitomizes the movie really well. Like I said, I think maybe cucumber out of the pants, armadillos in our trousers, or something like that were maybe just as funny.
Yeah.
But that reveal that they're all playing bass. Because the funniest thing, I think Derek Smalls is the MVP of that movie.
Yeah, well, it's Harry.
The mustache.
It's Harry Shearer,
I know.
Whenever he finally breaks out of the cocoon at the very end of the song, there's so much good stuff in that movie that it's impossible to sometimes to theoretically have a favorite. Whenever they're when they're reading all their album reviews. And all of them are terrible. And
they had what was it? What was the album name? Something sandwich.
Shark Sandwich.
Shark
Yeah,
sandwich.
simply 2 words, shit sandwich. And instead of being upset, they go, "You couldn't print that." Like that's why they're upset.
I think the thing that is so like that is so endearing about Spinal Tap, and the thing that makes the whole thing funny is how stupid and like and it's a perfect, like, it shows you like about fame. It's like these guys are like, they're super dumb, they're vain, they are not to be respected if you get to know these guys, right?
Right.
And then they go on stage and they talk about Stonehenge like it's the most serious thing they've ever heard in their life.
Right.
And
it's the
that's just what the dynamic is that
it's
makes it
the
very
type
good.
of comedy that I like, where like they are very serious. They're not in on the joke. Like the joke exists because of how serious they are being. You know, like it's the Simpsons. It's Krusty the Clown saying, you know, whenever you want to see nobody wants to see a clown get hit in the face with a pie, because that's not funny. The guy has to have dignity. And then Sideshow Bob is on the side of the stage and he's in his suit, and they're like, "Hey, hit Chuckles with the pie," and they hit Sideshow Bob with the pie, and he's in his suit, and then the hat falls off and his hair poofs out. and that makes everyone laugh. And Krusty the Clown goes, "That guy's going to change the way we think about getting hit with pies." He's like because Sideshow Cecil wants to do the pie take, but he's too silly. So he's like, you know, the sap has to have some dignity for it to work. It's the same, like they think they're the biggest band in the world, and so whenever they have to play the shitty the army ball, you know, like that's why it works.
They think they're profound and they're presenting themselves as something so serious, but they're a bunch of fucking just morons who are trying to make this thing. It's great, dude. And it makes me like this whole conversation has made me want to watch Spinal Tap again. And they are making a new one. I'm not really jazzed.
The thing is that I trust the guys who are making it to not make a bad movie, because like I think their instincts are good. Like they've held off for so long, but I don't know. Like, is there just a bunch of money on the table that you can't say no to? Do they have a really?
Have you heard about all the cameos?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll be great. Like, I hope that it's like they had an idea that was too good to turn down, as opposed to like, we're just making this movie because we can.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lot of these end up being just they decide to do it before they decide the idea.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it's really tough to you're kind of forcing it at that point. And it like the floor of how bad this movie could be goes way down, way worse when you go that way rather than starting with an idea, right? So right now we've got the guys: Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, Rob Reiner. We got Fran Drescher back. We got John Michael Higgins, who I wouldn't have recognized this guy's name, but he's in a lot of things. I'll show you his picture on Wiki.
That guy's from The Breakup. He has like the best scene in The Breakup. That guy's very funny.
Yeah.
And he's in a bunch of the Christopher Guest movies.
Jason Acuna, do you know who that is?
I've heard the name. I don't know.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
That's Wee Man, dog.
Okay.
So I bet Wee Man's gonna play like, okay, so this is what I'm guessing. I haven't read about this.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is gonna be more documentary, meaning more retrospective documentary, because we've got musicians Paul McCartney, Elton John, Garth Brooks, Questlove, Trisha Yearwood, Chad Smith, and Lars Ulrich are planned to appear as themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's going to be their talking heads in a documentary about Spinal Tap, or there's like a big one final festival or something. But I bet Jason Acuna, aka Wee Man, plays one of the like dwarves. One of the like he was one of the
okay. Yeah.
One of the Stonehenge dwarves.
Yeah.
So Filming began in March 2024, so they're actually freaking doing this.
So here's what I think it could go two ways. I think there's maybe the one plot of the movie is somebody has died in Tap, and so they're getting everybody together for like a tribute.
Well, it would have had to just be maybe like
the drummer.
because the running gag in the original movie is that the drummer they've gone through so many drummers because he spontaneously combusted.
Like he's just a globule on his drum set.
So their drummer, maybe they finally had a long-term drummer since the last movie. They got a drummer that stuck with them for a long time, became part of the band. They make it like a big celebrity that they only needed to get on the stage on the, like maybe it was Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And they just have pictures of Will Ferrell as their drummer and pictures of the band and stuff. And he dies. So they want to like maybe like a concert for Bangladesh
style thing. Yeah.
But it's for Detroit.
Yeah. So I think that's one way they could go. The other way, which I think is more likely, is that somehow Spinal Tap has accrued some sort of ironic fame, like through TikTok, or like maybe a famous rapper sampled Big Bottom, sampled the bass line.
And 1984 the movie was, by the way.
Oh wow. Yeah. So
yeah, I just realized.
So some famous rapper sampled Big Bottom, and now Spinal Tap is back.
That would be funny. So, Big Bottom became a TikTok sound.
Yeah.
That like all the TikTok OnlyFans girls started dancing to.
Yeah. And so then now the band's been broken up for years. So now it's like, okay, we're back together. We're supposed to play this huge festival. What's happened in the intervening years? How did they break up? What have they been up to? Derek Smalls is like the manager of a Lowe's or a pet store or some shit like that. And, then they have to get the band back together, because now there's a one shot where they're very famous, but they're famous they don't understand why they're famous now. Like they think that people want Tap back, but it's really just like whenever Fleetwood Mac blew back up because that dude was longboarding to a drinking Snapple or whatever,
Yeah, and they slowly start to realize that the people who love them only love them for like 15 seconds of that one song.
Yeah, and it's like all the talking heads are like people who are like, is Spinal Tap still a thing? Or it's like Paul McCartney has to interact with Spinal Tap, and he has no idea who Spinal Tap is,
Yeah,
and they're all playing one big show together. So that's my other thought.
That would be interesting. I think most likely it is a retrospective documentary on what happened with Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
And maybe the movie blew up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Kind of some kind of monster style or something like that. And because they weren't completely irrelevant in the movie, right? They were like almost Anvil.
Right, yeah. It's this is like their comeback record. But they're supposed to be touring America. Tap Into America is the tour.
Hell yeah, dude.
But did you? So yeah, that's an interesting idea. I could go for that.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Friend of the pod. That's right, friend of the pod, or favorite of the pod. Kevin Smith has announced he has a new movie coming out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did hear about that.
Did you hear what it's about?
Working at a movie theater, right?
It's called The 4:30 Movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's set in like the late 80s. The synopsis is we meet 3 16-year-old friends who like nothing more than Saturdays sneaking into their local theater. Division creeps in when one of them invites a girl along, and they all end up learning lessons about life and love. Now, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for this Kevin Smith movie. This Kevin Smith movie sounds like it's doing the thing that I've been asking Kevin Smith to do for the last little while, which is put away the blatant nostalgia plays. Even though I enjoyed Clerks 3 for what it was. Like, put away the blatant nostalgia plays, make a movie that goes outside of the reboot universe. It still sounds like it's in his wheelhouse entirely, but it's not blatantly hey, Jay and Silent Bob are doing something, or we're making Mallrats 3 or whatever, the Mallrats 2 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, if you loved the old stuff, here it is.
Right. So it sounds like it excited me because that is something that I've wanted him to do, because I enjoyed Red State and Tusk and the movies that he was doing before he went like fully in the reboot direction, and so I'm glad to hear that he's trying something new. I think that synopsis sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a fun little movie that could have some heart and be a good time, good hour and a half.
Yeah.
You're probably still getting Jay and Silent Bob in there somewhere, but like it's not about them. And I think that is the key to getting me reinterested in some Kevin Smith projects.
Yeah, I think I really don't want to shit on Kevin Smith because I love that he's just a guy who's making a good amount of money, just literally making what he wants to make, and he loves making movies, and he has an idea on a whim, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm making that movie."
Yeah.
I love that exists, but I feel like a lot of his, even like I liked Clerks 3 too, but like I feel like a lot of his recent movies have felt like sketches. They felt like cheap sketches of what he used to do, like of the art that he used to make, like a little shallow, except for like the end of Clerks 3, obviously. But like it seemed like it's hard to explain. It seemed like I said, like cheap, a lot of it. And so I'm cool with him, making a new movie, doing his thing. I'm gonna wait until I hear if people say it's good or not.
Yeah.
To watch it.
I just like him bucking the trend and going out to try to do something,
Totally.
Like that's what I've also wanted Tim Burton to do for a ton of years. Tim Burton's a very talented filmmaker, but he's just stuck being Tim Burton, and now he's making Beetlejuice 2. And I have to be honest, haven't heard Jacob's opinion. I don't know what the prevailing opinion is. I really don't have. Ironically, I got no juice for Beetlejuice 2. Like I just don't care about it doesn't matter because I'll go see it because I go see pretty much everything.
Yeah.
But I just like there's a famous story where they wanted, ironically, to Kevin Smith, where some studio wanted him to make a movie back in the 90s. He tells this story where they're pitching him ideas, and one of them is a sequel to Beetlejuice called Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. And he's like, I don't want to work on that. Didn't we already say pretty much everything we needed to say about Beetlejuice? And that's how I feel about it. It's like,
yeah,
fine, make your movies. I'm glad people are getting paid. I'm glad the movie's getting made. I don't have any juice for it.
Well, that's the same thing with Kevin Smith stuff for me. It's like I'm super stoked on him. I think he seems like a sweetheart of a man. I think he's a very entertaining dude. I think there was a time when he was making really inspired things, and he's still like now making inspired things. I didn't like Tusk very much, but like if nothing else, that movie was inspired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like he's taking risks. He's having fun. He's making art that he likes. He's making art that a lot of other people still like, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
It just it doesn't feel the same for me. It felt a little more authentic back in the day in terms of, I guess not authentic, because these are the movies that he wants to make. I'm trying to think of how to even explain what it felt like. Clerks was like a stroke of genius.
These feel.
I guess I should. That's how I should.
They
say
feel
it.
Safe to me.
The rest of but Clerks was a stroke of genius. Mallrats was a stroke of genius. Dogma was a stroke of genius. But even Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, a stroke of genius. And then since then, it's been kind of just, I don't know how to explain it. It's not the same anymore for me, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like for me, what happens is it feels
Jacob's so mad at me.
They feel safe, and that doesn't mean they're bad. It's just like he's going right back into the exact comfort zone that he knows he can succeed in, and that like it's just less interesting to me now.
And we got to give him some grace in being safe, because he was literally the opposite of safe, making Red State, Yoga Hosers, and Tusk. I think he made those in a row, if I'm not completely
Well,
incorrect,
and Jersey
right?
Girl and Cop Out. So
Yeah,
like,
well, Cop Out sucked, but it was safe. It was a studio movie. He was going to make $1 billion before. You know what I mean? But like, it's like Tusk and fucking Yoga Hosers like are the opposite of safe. That's like almost ruin your career. Weird decisions, right?
I guess I'm speaking more to Reboot and Clerks 3.
That's what I'm saying. So like since then he's kind of went back, but he's almost doing what I'm asking Eminem to do. Like, hey, dude, like just go back for one album, dude. Like just be yourself. Just be who you were before for one. So I'm like, I can't get mad at what Kevin Smith is doing. And like I said, a lot of people love it. And a lot of people, that's what they want from him, you know? And I don't know what direction he could go that would make me like reignite my love for the way that he writes and makes movies. It just doesn't, even the new Clerk stuff, the dialogue doesn't feel the same as the old Clerk stuff. And I don't know if it's because he's old and like, quote unquote, like, and listen, I'm not saying that he's woke, but like maybe he's old and he's evolved. So he's not going to say, I think you could see your kidneys anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but like it's a whole different thing. So like I'm not interested in this new movie he made. This movie theater movie. I'm glad he's like branching out. I'm glad it looks like, I think one of those kids is Harley's boyfriend, right?
That I don't know. I don't think I know who.
I can't tell. They all look the same.
Yeah,
they all look the same. And then Lisa Turtle sitting on the counter, right? So, I'm glad he's doing stuff like this. I'm glad he's putting people in movies. I'm glad he's making money. I'm glad all that stuff. I'm just not particularly interested.
Yeah, this piqued my interest more than if he had announced Mallrats 2. Even if Mallrats 2 had everybody come back, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
I can see that for sure.
And I hope it's good. You know, I would like for his movies to succeed because I like Kevin Smith the person quite a bit. So
yeah, me too.
Andrew,
I think he's cool.
We haven't done it in a couple weeks. Would you like to face off with
38?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the Monster Hunter's Guide.
Yep, the Monster Hunter's Hand Guide.
We've fought. You guys missed us fighting a fairy on the Lost episode.
Yep.
We fought a basilisk. We fought
Kraken.
A kraken.
Yep.
What was the girl horse? The girl thing?
Oh,
it was like
chimera.
A woman. Chimera, yeah, something like that.
Oh, this week we're fighting a djinn, buddy.
What the? Okay, so how's that spelled? I can't see.
DJINN. It's a genie, an evil genie.
Hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah, dude!
Jinn are humanoid creatures created from fire and first appear in ancient Arabic and Hebrew writings. While they vary considerably in power and appearance, like most orders of spirits or demons, even the lowliest members of the species are a difficult quarry. Yeah, you don't want that.
I like to consider myself a difficult quarry sometimes.
I'd love somebody to be like Dusty. Difficult quarry, man. Jinn can become invisible and intangible, rendering them almost impossible to slay. Now, you might think to yourself, were this not enough of an impediment, powerful Jinn can also change shape and grow to immense size. They're also smart. These things sound like they're real tough.
Formidable.
Yeah. I think it's like a genie. That's what I understood.
Yeah, look at the picture there.
Yeah, they just don't use the word genie in this book. So I feel
Disney might own Genie. I think maybe Genie came from Jinn.
Yeah,
and I'm just making that up. I don't know. Hold on.
In some folklore, Jinn expressed their fear that a mighty prophet such as Solomon might slay them. Now, to my knowledge, neither one of us are mighty prophets.
Watch your fucking mouth, Dusty. Speak for yourself.
Well, we are living parallel lives that could be clairvoyant, you know?
Yeah, so Genie is an anglicized version of Jinn.
Right. Oh shit! You can get possessed
If you
by,
see a drunk
by
one,
one of these. That's no good.
if you see a drunk one, that's a gin rummy. You know what I mean?
There he is.
Hold on. How long will it take for me to play this? Oh, I'm sharing my screen, so I can't play. I didn't realize I can't play fucking soundboard stuff when I'm sharing my screen. Too much media.
For example, some folklore suggests that anyone unfortunate enough to urinate under a tree where an invisible djinn is sleeping will be possessed by the creature. So you got to watch.
Dude, what a horrible set of circumstances.
You got to watch out for Hobbs, dude.
You're like drunk one night and you're in the woods with your friends and you piss under a tree and you get possessed by a genie.
Yep. Oh,
you come back rapping.
Yeah, here is the weakness though. Are you ready?
Sure.
You might relate to this. The weakness of jinn is that they are rather arrogant and fond of vulgar displays of power.
Listen, why would I relate to this?
Yeah. It's a battle of the mind with the jinn.
Man, I'm probably fucked then because what would happen is me and the jinn would get in a dick measuring contest, and I wouldn't want to, because it seems like the way to defeat a jinn is to like play to its ego a little bit and like, and I since I don't take no guff,
well, as we all know,
I might end up in that lamp.
Yeah. All right. So the dangers are they have magical powers and can possess you from peeing. Magical powers very blanket statement as to the power.
Yeah. The danger is that they have magical powers.
Weaknesses are arrogance and holy objects with a question mark. So maybe some holy objects.
So what was the first weakness? Arrogance.
Yeah.
Arrogance and holy objects?
Yeah, possibly holy objects. But if you can beat the djinn, you get the wish granting power of the djinn itself and possibly some of its treasure. So that's a benefit.
So if you defeat a djinn, okay, so this is the thing.
Yeah.
Since the prize for defeating a djinn is so high, that means these motherfuckers are hard to kill. Yeah. If they're like, hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. You beat this guy, you can grant any wish you want to grant.
Yeah. That's
that's like when I tell you, like, I will give you $1 million if you can guess who was in this movie.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a very funny episode of What We Do in the Shadows, or a very funny
I gotta watch
series of bits where there's a djinn that lives in the house with them, and it has it's granted an unknown amount of wishes to one of the guys that lives in the house, but he keeps wishing for like
stupid
petty
shit
bullshit, and the djinn keeps being like, you don't know how many wishes you've got, you know, and then he has to keep thinking of whenever he wants to wish for something, he has to think of the possible ways in which the djinn might like flip it on him, like Wishmaster style. So he's like,
I want to be the richest man in the world, but I want it to be obtained under legal means where I'm not in trouble for doing it.
Right. I don't want it to be because everyone else is now poor. I don't want it to be.
I don't want it in pennies.
Yeah, I don't want to be cast in gold and then be the richest man in the world. And the djinn has to keep making little notes in his notepad. That's like a whole legalese. It's very funny. So
that's great.
Yeah,
this show seems awesome. I haven't watched it yet.
It's great. There's some jokes in there.
It seems awesome.
Yeah, I think the djinn might be the most powerful creature we've encountered so far in our monster hunting.
Yeah, that's a bad motherfucker. I cannot defeat a djinn. I wish I really could. I wish I could. You know, the best bit on this would be if I decided that I could beat everybody and we could figure it out. But let's be honest.
Right.
I'm not beating the djinn.
No, I mean, remember when Jafar becomes a genie, and that's a rough gig. Unless you can trick him with his arrogance. That's how they beat him.
That's the thing, though. God would never give me wish granting powers.
Right. You couldn't have it.
That wouldn't go well for anybody, you know? So, because I would find the biggest fucking loopholes and just absolutely screw everybody.
You do have a lot of legalese in your...
And then I'd screw everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I wanted to briefly touch on...
Real quick, hold on. Did you know that... time is running out to escape Chuck Norris?
I didn't know that. Now I have to put that on my list of things to do.
But also, Chuck Norris doesn't know fear, fear knows him. I feel like I've read that one 50 times. And then when the atomic bomb drops, 2 species survive: cockroaches and Chuck Norris.
Yep, that's such a lazy. It's just the joke's so lazy.
The book sucks, Dusty.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen you wearing your Hot Cheetos shirt yet. So
it's in the. I could show it to you. It's in the closet. So.
Have you wore it?
No,
Have
of
you
course
put it
not.
on? Have you put it
God,
on at all?
No. Oh, I put it on. Yeah.
Does it fit?
Of course, yeah, it fits. And the day that I got it, I wore it out of the pod where I'm recording right now to show my wife. Yeah. I just no context, just put it on and came out with it on.
Are my socks done?
Yeah. So anyway,
what'd she say?
I was thinking, I told her I was gonna wear it to the next family gathering, and she, whatever she's concerned that I might do something that I promised to do in hyperbole, she just goes,
yeah,
okay. So then I had to assure her that I would not wear the Hot Cheetos shirt to the net.
Unless it's a family gathering of the Juggalos,
yeah,
then it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, unless it's my true family, the Juggalos. Yeah. I think the Hot Cheetos t-shirt stays in the closet.
It is Fago resistant, yeah, so I made sure they put a spray on it.
It's Fago wicking. It'll just take it straight off. Yeah,
water soaks it right up. Fago bounces right off.
Don't come at me with that. So I want to talk real briefly. WrestleMania is this weekend, but we can't do predictions for WrestleMania because the show will come out the day of WrestleMania Day 2. So we don't want to be.
Yeah. So last night.
Yeah, some shit went down.
Holy shit!
Best WrestleMania ever.
Yes.
But another one of our interests, one that this is why I want to talk to you about. One that seems to me possibly fading on your list of interests. Next weekend, April the 13th, UFC 300 is taking place. And you used to be heavy into the UFC, super heavy.
Yeah.
So heavy.
MMA in general. I used to watch the lower, not divisions, promotions.
Yeah. Going home telling me that you watched fight breakdowns of John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah, I used to literally watch like old jiu-jitsu matches with like a jiu-jitsu guy breaking down every move, like pausing it literally every like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, reaction videos. Other reaction videos.
But I don't have enough time to be as into MMA as I used to. I used to spend all my time at work. On MMA forums, and now I have a job that I like and I can't get fired from. So, and to be frank, the ESPN deal, completely ruined the UFC in my opinion. The cards, there's too many cards. A lot of them are at the Apex with no fucking fans, and the UFC no longer has an incentive to put together really good pay-per-views, and because of that, they only put 2 or 3 really good pay-per-views a year together. And I don't miss a pay-per-view generally. I'm going to miss UFC 300. My friend is getting married on the day of UFC 300, which is really annoying.
Now, this shows growth from you.
Yeah.
Because 2015, 2016, you maybe missed that wedding for...
2015, 2016, this is one of the maybe 2 or 3 guys whose wedding I would miss UFC 300 for. Like
if Conor
I would
was
miss
fighting Khabib,
I would miss it for that.
Wow,
for his wedding.
Okay,
this is Nate. This is one of my best friends. Right. So if you were getting married, same thing. Not going to miss that for the world.
Would you buy it on your phone to watch?
Oh yeah, probably. I'm still probably going to like pull my phone out a few times throughout the night to like
just
for a few of these. But like to be honest, this card is like good.
This looks like one of the better cards they put together in a long time. I think the other thing, if I may be so bold, as a person who follows MMA and really likes it, and was really into it for a while, they're having some star issues at this time.
Yeah.
Like
some of it is their own doing, but yes, it is.
Yeah, like Conor McGregor's gone. Who knows if he's ever coming back?
Yeah.
John Jones is hurt, which is just unfortunate. That's not their fault. But like, guys aged out, guys are in contract disputes. Like, they're
a lot of the really banger guys that are coming up and killing people are foreign and don't speak English.
A lot of guys from Dagestan and China,
and even like Spain.
Yeah, which is great for the fighting, but for the promoting aspect of it, it gets a little hard, like or a little more difficult. So like, I have some juice for this card. I've got it for this because this seems like it'll. But like, I don't really know Alex Pereira or Jamel Hill. I know they're both very good fighters, but like, I might have been an April Fool's thing that Jamel Hill was injured and Israel Adesanya was going to fight instead.
So Israel's not going to fight Pereira. Pereira's. I can get you juice for Pereira real quick. Alex Pereira was world-class kickboxer. He was the only guy to knock out Adesanya in kickboxing.
I remember seeing his fight where he beat Glover Teixeira for the belt, right?
He beat Jan Blachowicz.
Oh yes,
for the. Oh no, he beat Yuri Prochazka for the belt.
See,
but yeah,
I know this dude's a bad motherfucker. Like,
yeah, so he's very very Lesnar-esque in that he won the UFC middleweight championship, knocking out Israel Adesanya in his 8th career MMA fight.
Right.
Which is unbelievable. He knocked out Sean Strickland the fight before that, who ended up being the middleweight champion eventually. He then gets knocked out by Adesanya in one of the craziest knockouts ever, because this dude's a monster.
Yeah.
Like, Pereira's a monster. And he was fighting at 185, and he has to cut a lot of weight to fight at 205. Like, he had to kill himself to get to 185.
Yeah.
So he goes up to 205. He beats Jan Blachowicz in a close decision, if I remember correctly. I know, yeah, it was a split decision. And then he knocks out Yuri Prochazka in a really weird way, in a really good fight. And Yuri's a bad dude too. So this guy has had 11 career fights, and he's been the champion in 2 UFC divisions. He's a terrifying human being.
Yeah.
Jamel Hill, very interesting career trajectory. He, I believe, let me make sure. Yeah, he's only lost one time. He lost to Paul Craig. And that was when Paul Craig, I believe, yeah, it was Jamel Hill. Remember when Paul Craig broke the dude's arm and was elbowing him in the head, and his arm was like, he was in a triangle and his arm was flopping like that? That was Jamel Hill. But other than that, Jamel Hill's never lost in his career. He knocked out Jimmy Crute, Johnny Walker, and Thiago Santos in a row, and then decisions Glover Teixeira. Very good fighter, underrated fighter. I would be surprised if he beat Alex Pereira, just because Alex is so scary. Yeah. But crazier things. So anyway,
and to speak to your other point, I think during the pandemic and Fight Island and all of that stuff, I just lost the ability to keep up with everything, and so now I don't know who all the guys are, and that makes it very hard. And they have like you said, they have so many cards that it's like keeping up with who's who and who, like, what the rankings are and who's fighting. Like, it becomes very difficult to.
Yeah, and I think they learned a lesson with Conor. I think Conor got too famous, got too rich, and bounced.
Yeah.
He went and fought Floyd, and then he never cared again. Except for, I truly do believe he cared in the Khabib fight.
Yeah.
He put up more of a fight against Khabib than almost everybody ever. So, and he still got his ass whooped, but he had a better show of himself than most guys. But I think what they're realizing, and I think what Dana has shifted everything to the detriment of the fans, is promoting the promotion. The UFC is now bigger than everybody.
He's taken Vince's playbook.
Exactly. So like, you don't let anybody get too big.
Lesnar can't hurt you if he leaves. It's the WWE.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Exactly. And so he convinced he convinced himself that he thought Sean O'Malley was a superstar on the level of Conor, just because Sean has pink hair. And I think he's going to swing and miss on that. I think Sean's going to get very famous, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere near what Conor. I think Sean's going to get dumped on his head and fucking destroyed the next time he fights because he's going to fight Merab Devashvili, who's a bad motherfucker at bantamweight. So like, there's this thing where like he'll latch onto a guy every once in a while, like he did with Sean, but I don't think Dana wants anybody to get that famous again. Even though it made him a lot of money. I don't think he wants anybody to have the leverage over him that Conor had. I think with from what I understand with the ESPN deal, the UFC gets a flat rate for every pay-per-view. They get paid as if it sold like 400,000 or 500,000 every time, no matter what. Yeah. Which is cool for the UFC. That money hasn't necessarily gone to the fighters at all. They're some of the lowest paid athletes percentage-wise as a percentage of profits in professional sports, like major professional sports at least, which is crazy because they take the most damage out of anybody. And I just don't think he is motivated to make these gigantic cards anymore, so he's not motivated to make anybody a superstar anymore. Yeah. That mixed with, like I said, a lot of up-and-coming guys don't speak English, which is great. It's great for the world. I root for it. Like, I huge into, like, I love it. Mexican MMA. I think every form of fighting is better when Mexicans are involved. Their fans are fucking insane, and the Mexican spirit in fighting is real. It's true, you know.
Yeah.
And there's expanding into China, which is dope. They're doing all these things, which is cool, but like, it's tougher for American audiences to really get into that. So like, a lot of Americans are kind of falling off. That's not necessarily why I fell off. All the other previous reasons are why I fell off.
Well, because we don't like to think of it this way, but we're still a very, you know, xenophobic or what is it? Zionistic? Like,
I'd say yeah, but I don't think there's a problem with being regionally proud in fighting.
No, I'm saying in America, like, it's the same thing in wrestling. Like, it's very hard, no matter how talented a wrestler from another country is, to get over in America if they are not able to, like, effectively speak English. Like,
yeah,
and because we're like, it's hard to sell that fight to Americans because we want to hear guys in English talking shit. Like,
when Conor was going after Jose Aldo, Jose was saying some cool shit back, but all you heard was the interpreter telling you.
Yeah, and it wasn't
the same.
Yeah, and that's and I think that's sort of one of the problems, you know. And like I think MMA probably is like, you know, it's the kind of sport where like we're now seeing the most evolved fighters that we've seen because it's a sport that's constantly bettering itself.
Yeah,
like we're seeing the best fighters that we can see now because everyone is more well-rounded and there's more emphasis on different disciplines and all that stuff. So you're getting like better fights, more well-rounded fighters, but the personalities that you can sell like aren't there in the same way at this point. They haven't hit on a guy like Adesanya was a big hit, you know, like, but there's a ceiling, I think, on guys like,
and he started having boring fights. Yeah. That was the problem for him too. Like if he would have kept having like, and I'm glad he didn't keep having fights like the Gastelum fight because he probably took years off of his life in that fight. So I understand why anybody would fight safe, but like that was the thing about Conor. Like, name a boring Conor McGregor fight. Yeah. Even the Floyd fight wasn't that boring, you know. But like, a lot of the guys, there's money in it now because they are making money, especially at the top. They're making money at the once you get like second or third tier, you're not making that much money. Yeah. But at the top, they're making good money. And once you got to protect your money, like, because once you lose, you stop getting pay-per-view points. You're not the champ anymore. These guys start protecting their money, and like, so there's a lot of structures within the MMA that are hurting the product, and some of them protect the fighters. Like, I want these guys to fight safe because I want these guys to be able to tie their shoes and recognize their grandkids when they get older. Yeah. But like, it's tough. So let's go through
the rest of the main card. Zhang Li.
Right? You want me to say it?
Yeah, I think that's
Zhang Weili. She's a Chinese champion versus Yan Xiaonan.
Yeah. So
who is also, I believe, Chinese.
So Zhang Weili is the strawweight champion, one of the best fighters in the world. Like, all of her fights that I've seen are entertaining. She's the one who beat Joanna, right?
Yeah, so she beat Rose twice. She didn't beat Joanna. Oh no, she lost to Rose twice. She did beat Joanna twice.
Yeah. And some of the craziest fight, like February 2020, right before the pandemic, that's one of the best fights I've ever seen. Is March
7th. I'm just, the only reason I know that is because I'm looking at it right now. I would have guessed February as well. Yeah, that's the one where Joanna got the huge hematoma on her forehead.
Yeah. So that's a fight I'm looking forward to. That seems like it's going to be a banger fight.
Yeah, Yan Zhongnan is good. I'd say Zhang is probably the favorite, and deservedly so.
Really?
Zhang Weili.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
They have very similar Chinese names. But if you look at, Yan just knocked out Jessica Andrade, and not very many people do that.
Yeah.
And she beat Mackenzie Dern. She lost to Marina Rodriguez. She lost to Carla Esparza, who's like my least favorite fighter of all time, but a two-time champ. So, like, I would say Zhang Weili is probably going to win that fight, but we'll see.
Then we have, this is how you also know they needed to pad this card out. I think they were trying to get Conor McGregor, and he was like, I'm doing Roadhouse press. So
they tried to do about 50 things. So they called the two fucking most down-ass motherfuckers in the UFC. We're like, hey, you guys are similar size. You guys want to fight each other?
Well, and also so that they can promote, because UFC 100 had 3 title fights. 200 probably had, I don't know if it had 3. But I remember
200 was a cursed ass card. Yeah. They probably had 5 different title fights scheduled for that card.
This is so they can promote it as 3 a 3 title fight card. We've got Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway for the BMF title, which is a pro wrestling ass title in MMA, because that's not a real belt. Who's the baddest motherfucker?
The BMF title was a really stupid thing that they did. Dana loves putting belts on shit. Like, he loves throwing interim belts. And then they did the BMF title with Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. And The Rock came out and presented the belt.
So could they get any more pro wrestling at that point? Because it's fun, but it's not. They don't give other Super Bowl trophies, for the best game of the year or whatever,
biggest hitter. It's whatever. If it gets Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway in the fucking octagon together,
that's the thing. Is this fight is at lightweight, Holloway versus Gaethje? This is going to be a hell of a fight.
It's going to be a banger. This is going to be 2 guys standing in the middle, fucking slinging leather at each other. 2 of the best strikers in MMA. 2 complete veterans who are 2 of the guys that you're like, oh, that guy's never going to give up until the lights are out. Yeah. So it's a scary fight, just because I want these guys to be able to tie their shoes and recognize their grandkids. Yeah. But I think Gaethje probably wins.
Yeah, Gaethje's the favorite. He's plus 230. So then they've got Charles Oliveira versus, I'll let you take this one,
Arman Tsarukyan.
Yeah. Charles Oliveira, bad motherfucker. Most submissions, I believe, in the history of the UFC.
One of the best lightweight fighters of all time.
Former champ,
top 3.
Right?
Former champ.
And he's taking on Arman, who is coming up. And so, this is a cool fight, because I would imagine that this is probably Arman's, without looking at his past fights, his biggest fight so far.
Yeah, he just he sent Benail Darius to the land of wind and ghosts with a knee to the forehead in their last fight. And he's got, that's his big win. He lost to Islam Makhachev in 2019 when Islam was still coming up, and there's no shame in losing to Islam Makhachev. So he's on his way up. I think if Oliveira loses this fight, it seems like things are starting to go south for him. How old is Charles Oliveira? He is 34. 35 is about the line for his weight class. It's about the expiration date generally for being at the absolute top of the sport.
Yeah.
So and he's got a lot of miles on him. He's been in the UFC for, let's see, his UFC debut was in 2010. He's been in the UFC for 14 years.
Yeah, and that's a lot of fights. That's a lot of damage because he's been fighting top guys for a while.
He's had 24 UFC fights, 25 UFC fights. So that's a lot of damage.
And
probably
Armin's the favorite in this one. So
that's surprising.
Or wait, no, plus 170 for Oliveira, right?
Yeah, so, if Oliveira is plus odds, then he is the underdog. Well, let's see. They both fucked up Beneil Dariush in their last fights. I don't really see why. Maybe I got to go back and watch Armin's fights again. But I don't necessarily see why Oliveira is the champion. I mean, is the underdog there? There might be some money on that fight.
And then in the opening for the main card, this is where we're seeing like a guy that they're wanting to pump to the next level. So we got Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage in a battle of who can look the most like the other guy.
It's a tie.
Yeah, Bo Nickel is a highly touted young UFC fighter who's been he'd been really impressive. They put him on a couple main cards. They clearly want to do something with this dude. So this is another example of them trying to put a guy on, right?
Yeah, Bo Nickel. If I'm glad they're putting him up against a guy that's not like a top 10 guy. He's been begging to get skyrocketed up to the top. He's crazy talented, an unbelievable amateur wrestler, 3-time NCAA Division I national champion in wrestling. Yeah. He's 28 years old. He's taking his time. But he really is a killer. He hasn't really had any trouble in his MMA fights so far. I think he knocked the last guy he fought out, which was surprising to a lot of people. Let me see. Yeah, he got a TKO in his last fight. All of his fights have ended in the first round. Only 2 of them have made it past a minute, and one of them was a minute and 2 seconds. Yeah. So he's very good. I can't wait to see what happens in his career. He's a smart guy and a good talker too. So, but I'm glad they're taking it slow with him. And just to round out everything else, one thing about UFC 300 is that it's deep.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are the main fights, and then on the undercard, just names. Yuri Prochazka, Aljamain Sterling, Holly Holm, and then on the early prelims, Jessica Andrade, Bobby Green, Jim Miller, Davison Figueroa, Cody Garbrandt. That's crazy.
Jim Miller's it's probably his retirement fight too. He's finally we're finally getting rid of Jim Miller.
Jim Miller, cool.
Who I love.
He gets this fight because he fought on UFC 100 and 200. And so they have to put him on 300.
He's had this circled on his calendar for a long time. He's been talking about it. But a few things to point out: Davison Figueroa versus Cody Garbrandt is a very interesting fight. Figueiredo is a former champion who's a fucking monster, and Cody Garbrandt put together one. I mean, maybe the greatest title fight performance of all time for a challenger against Dominic Cruz back in the day, and then he just fell off a fucking cliff. Couple things to really pay attention to: Kayla Harrison fighting Holly Holm. Kayla Harrison. So Ronda Rousey was an Olympic judo silver medalist, right? Yeah. Kayla Harrison was an Olympic judo gold medalist. She is a fucking monster. I don't want to. I'm not saying this to insult her. She's got man shoulders and man traps. This girl is a monster. And she lost. She lost in PFL. She was like an unstoppable force in PFL. None of her fights were close. And then she fought Larissa Pacheco, a girl who looked like a bus driver, and beat her for $1 million in 2022. She came back and beat up Aspen Ladd pretty good. Her grappling is unbelievable. Her striking leaves some to be I can't remember, desired. Yeah. She's 33 years old, and she this is one of those She finally made it to the UFC. She should have been in the UFC a long time ago. She should have fought Cyborg a long time ago. She should have been fighting Amanda Nunes. So she's finally in the UFC. She's fighting Holly Holm. I'm super excited to see what she looks like. Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling is a very interesting fight. I think Sterling probably wins, but Yuri is always fun to watch. He's a loon. Like Yuri Prochazka is a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's like one of those go meditate in the snow guys.
Yeah.
He's just a weirdo who he's almost like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. He's like a samurai warrior white guy. Anyway, very deep card. I'm excited, even though I don't get to watch it. I'll probably stay away try to stay away from spoilers for the prelims, and the day after the wedding, go watch some of that stuff when I'm recovering. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the movie theater for that one.
Are they charging extra?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah,
$25 is my limit, so, and I enjoy going to the movie theater for it, except last time, like, a dude wanted to make friends with me, and I was just like,
and like talk about the fights and shit.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm just here, I just want to watch the fight. But like, he was okay, so here's my weird interaction. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast. It's another problem where I thought I was doing the right thing and being helpful, but I don't think that I was being helpful, apparently. So I'm sitting in my seat. When I bought my seat, I try to buy a seat that where there's nobody near me so far that's bought a ticket, because I just want to sit by myself. I want to watch the fight. Like, I want to not have people up in my space, but I can't control if tickets get bought after that. So I get there, there's two dudes in the two seats next to me. And I'm like, all right, well, that's fine. So the guy kind of small talks with me, and he's like, you got Poirier or you got the other guy? And I'm like, I think Poirier is going to win this thing. And then I get up to go get like a drink or something, and I come back, and the two seats are empty. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe these guys moved, whatever. So then different people come and sit in those seats. And so I turn to the guy and I go, hey, just so you know, there were two guys sitting in those seats before. I don't know where they went, but they're not here now. So maybe you want to check your ticket to make sure you're in the right seat. Because I hate when I sit in the wrong seat and then it's like the whole shuffle or like, whatever.
Oh yeah, you feel like an asshole.
Yeah. And so, and he's like, but that guy was like, are we not allowed to sit here? And I was like, no, I don't care where you sit. I'm just informing you that before you get too comfortable, you might want to.
It's so annoying because you're trying to be nice and like, yeah,
I'm trying to head a problem off at the pass that I foresee could be a problem, but like, it's not my job to do that. I'm not the movie theater police.
And you don't want to tell them like, I don't fucking care about these other guys. Right. I'm just telling you this, so you can be there all you want. I'm just letting you know somebody was
I don't care about any of you. I don't care if anybody sits in this seat. In fact, I'd prefer if no one did. But
if the AC unit lands on you right now, I'm watching Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis.
Like, I'm just telling you, before you put all your shit down and put your drink in the thing and put the nachos where you want them and get your blanket and your lady has her, like, all of her shit, somebody was sitting here before. So that might be their seat. It might be your seat. Just so you know, if they come back, if you got these seats because you saw they were empty, which I totally understand, just so you know, somebody was here. That's it. And then I like got up to go to the bathroom at later on in the night or go get something else, and I came back and the two original dudes were back in those seats. And I was like, did the other people leave because they thought I was gonna narc or something was gonna happen or whatever? Like, because I truly don't care. I just know from going out to watch fights for many years that the testosterone level in these situations gets real high because you're watching guys fight on TV, and the Dunning-Kruger effect tells you that you could fight just like these dudes can because you're also a guy. Like, I've seen bar fights just because it was a fight night. Like, things get ramped up, and I'm trying to cut it off at the pass. And so I don't know what logistics occurred, but those dudes were back in the seat. The original dudes came back.
I bet most likely the original dudes came back and were like, "Hey, you're in my seat," and they had to get up and go.
Well,
and
probably because the seats they took, somebody else came and sat in. And so then they had to move back to their original seats. So I thought I was being helpful, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to catch attitude from this other dude. And I was just like, I should have just
getting a lot of attitude.
Yeah, I was just like, should have just kept my fucking mouth shut and let whatever was going to happen. But
I went to my friend's house for those fights, and I had some other friends from high school there that I hadn't seen in a long time, and they were screaming the whole time, and they were wrong about everything, and they were like Dustin Poirier. They thought that Dustin was letting the guy beat the shit out of him, so the guy would get tired and he would knock him
classic.
out. And the worst part about it, the best part, because I like Dustin Poirier, but the worst part about it is the guy got tired and Dustin Poirier knocked him out. And I was like, dude, that might be the end result in what happened. But he wasn't letting the guy beat the shit out of him. He's like, I don't know, man. It looked like to me, because he didn't want to believe that Benoit Saint Denis can hurt Dustin Poirier.
Right.
Because it's Superman. You know what I mean? So what's funny, I got vindicated because in the post-fight interview, Joe Rogan basically asked something about what was happening. He's like, well, he was beating the shit out of me. Yeah. He's like, no, he was beating the shit out of me. It's like, and so he was screaming about everything the whole time. And I like the guy. I'm not mad at him or anything like that. And I wasn't really that bummed about it, but it was like, I was trying to watch the fight and hear what was happening, and this guy's just screaming the whole time. And I'm like, this is why I would be very careful with my fight nights.
Well, and I was gonna say, like, we're both people that maybe sound like bummers to hang out with, but it was like, I knew going to your house to watch the fights. One, it's a privilege because now I don't have to spend $80 on it. I get to hang out with some cool people I like. I don't have to. I'm not spending the money on it, but like, respect the fact that you're paying $80 for it. And so, or like whatever, you came to my house to watch the first WrestleMania we watched. And like in the lead up to it, I had to give you the little preamble because I was worried because this has happened before. I had to be like, look,
just so you know, I care about this a lot.
Right. Like, I want you to come over. I think we'll have a great time. It's not a monastery or anything, but just so you know, I will be watching WrestleMania. Like, there's not going to be a point where I'm going to get if you get bored, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing to like entertain you, or like, hey, you want to play a quick match of Madden? We'll like switch it up. No, I would like to watch WrestleMania. So I'll play Madden afterwards. WrestleMania's on right now. So if that's not cool, that's fine. I just have to let you know beforehand that this is my expectation, like, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. That's why when I go to the movie theater, I try to sit by myself, because I don't really react. I'm not trying to hoot and holler and all this stuff. I just want to watch the fights for the cheaper alternative than paying $80 to watch them at my house,
Yeah, so that's 100% what it is. It's like, I steal most of the cards now. I used to on principle buy the cards because I appreciated the product that they were putting out. I no longer appreciate the product that often. The us buying more pay-per-views does not turn into more money for the fighters. If it did, I would pay more money for these fucking cards. It goes to Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Disney, and I don't care about those people. So, if they put together a really good card to give them a little treat and let them know, hey, this is worth it, I will buy the bangers every once in a while. But if they don't put a banger together, you best believe I'm going to Sports Surge or Crack Streams or Stream East or Buff Streams, and I'm finding it, and I'm fucking stealing that shit. I do it all the time.
So that's the only thing, is like, whatever, you used to have the cards at your house. Like, it was a fun atmosphere. We had a great time, but it was like, hey, the fights are the fights are the reason that we're all hanging out here. Yeah, it's not they're not incidental. It's the same as the Super Bowl, or like, if I really want to watch this football game, you gotta hang with me when it's happening. I do care about
and
this.
People got reasonably loud. People knew that we wanted to hear every once in a while I had to go, shut the fuck up, because we wanted to hear the like post-fight interview or something. Everybody was cool. Everybody knew the reason we were there, and that's how it needs to be. So I have to go return a carpet cleaner. So I just realized I've got like
the Vaughn's is closing.
Very little time.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they close at 10, but I only had a 24-hour rental, and I can't remember if I took that back at like 8:36 or like what time.
Yeah. No.
So
with that in mind, hey everybody, you know all the stuff. We'll be back next week. We love you all. Thanks for listening. Andrew's got to return his carpet cleaner.
This is the worst time to say this in the entire video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. No, nobody makes it this far. So I love you. Dusty, you're the man. We will be back next week.
Let me know.